Hello everybody. This week we're going to talk about Unit 4, the scales. The first thing that we're going to go over is the major scale patterns and some new keys that we haven't talked about in level 2. So with major keys, we usually follow a pattern of whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So if you're familiar with the C major scale, this is how it looks like on the piano. What I do is that I just use this scale as my landmark to remember what is the relationship between two notes. So for example, this is the whole, whole, half, whole, 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 and half. And that applies to every single major keys. So for example, if we have a G major, it's the same idea. You have a whole, whole, half, whole, 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 and then half. So that's the major scale pattern. And the two new key signature we're going to learn in this unit, we're having two sharps. So when we have two sharps, the major key is the D major. And when we have two flats, the major key is B flat major. And we're going to do these exercises in your class. The next one we're going to go over is the melodic phrase. So a melodic phrase is basically like a sentence. It's like words in a sentence. And what it usually can be divided into a 2-bar phrase, 2-measure phrase, or a 4-measure phrase. A 4-measure phrase is very common in classical period. So like pieces by Beethoven, pieces by Mozart, you'll see a lot of 4-measure phrase. So they usually use a big slur marking to connect. It is also means it should be played as legato as well. Moving forward, we're going to learn about writing your own melodies. We have learned some of this in level 2, and we've only used the repeated notes, steps, and skips from the major scales. And when we are writing those melodies, make sure that you can end on scale degree 1 or scale degree 3, because we refer them as stable pitches. So that gives us a sense of stability rather than end on some other scale degrees. We're also going to cover the minor scale patterns and new keys. We've learned this a little bit in level 2. We've learned about the natural minor scale. We've also learned the harmonic minor scale. So in order to find a minor key, a relative minor in relationship to a major, what you usually do is that you go to the 6th scale degree. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in the key of D major, you find the 6th note, and that's your B, and that's your relative minor of the major, D major and B minor. So the same thing here, if we have a B flat major, the 6th note, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So the 6th note would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would be the G. So the G is the starting of the relative minor. We will also learn the difference between leading tone and subtonic. So a leading tone is a half step away from the tonic, where the subtonic is a whole step away. So this usually you see it in harmonic minor, whereas this, what we call this subtonic, you see it in natural minor. So those are the difference. It's not always the 7th scale degree. It's going to be called leading tone. Sometimes it can be referred as subtonic. And we're going to also learn the melodic minor. So we've covered natural minor, harmonic minor, and now it's the melodic minor. So with melodic minor, when we go up the scale, we're going to raise the 6th and the 7th scale degree. We're going to raise half step higher. In this case, we're adding the sharps to it. And then when you come down, it's the natural minor of this. So if we were to look at the piano, the A harmonic minor is going to be played like this. I'm going to come back, it's in the natural form. When I talk about natural form, it doesn't really mean that it's everything is going to be natural, but it just everything is going to going back to the Y key. It just means we're going to still keep the same key signature as in the major key. Now we have the G minor in melodic form. So same idea. This one, this is your 6th scale degree. We're not adding a sharp sign because we already have an E flat. So we're just going to make this a half step higher by making it natural. And then we're going to add the sharp to the 7th scale degree. And when we come down, we keep the same key signature as it used to be. So we're going to have this natural on the 7th scale degree, and then we're going to add the E flat back. So this is the melodic form. And that's all we're going to be covering in this unit, and we will talk more in the class.